song.
It is Sunday. We got the snow.
Yes. And then you can do the indoors.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Did you?
This part I did, then all the rest. As usual. Goodbye.
Goodbye, America.
We're always told it won't be easy. We're always told we're never right. Nothing here is oh so breezy, baby, tonight. And you've been throwing out the things that you no longer need. You've been laying waste to all that you believe. You've been laying waste to all.
Good. Good. Hello, davor-bozic.
Hello. I have to say this is like, what's the time?
What is the time?
It's 11:30. It's just before I go to bed. Yeah. Well, I'll take a bath tonight.
You will.
But this is after like what 12 hours of mixing, so
It's been a very,
don't
very
mind
long
me
day.
people that I'm kind of
Yeah. He's a little bit beat, but he agreed to do this interview for
rather now than tomorrow.
exactly,
in the break.
exactly for our day 5. So we have one question for you that came in on the Facebook page, but it's a brilliant question because it kind of is broad. So we'll maybe ask this, and then you can tell us anything else you want to about making the album. So the question came from Tony, and it is, Davor, it has been said that your record producer is the most important member of your creative team. Would you share with us your experiences of energy and music chemistry while birthing this new album with Lee, and how it has enhanced the creative process?
It's very hard to say because this has been a 10-month ongoing process actually. One part was of course my ability to express music in a new way, because it's everything that I do, new things come out of me, so I enjoy this. I never want to repeat things. So musically, yes, I must say this is something that I've always dreamt of. It was somewhere here. It was actually never possible to do, partly because maybe instruments were not here to produce these types of sounds. But I've had it in me, so what this album was an opportunity for me was to express this mixture of kind of spacey type of energy and sound with and bring it and ground it here. So we have a lot of I used a lot of analog synthesizers which still have this voltage oscillators. That means that actually electricity creates tones. And we also have a lot of new, I used a lot of new VST synthesizers, which are, you know, just digital, or they use samples, but because they are let's say, they use the processor of the computer, they can have like 10 arpeggiators at once, or modulation stuff, which was never possible with these old analog machines, that they would just maybe have one or two things to twinkle at the same time while these things do weird stuff. And it was a great combination to combine these worlds. But the other more personal experience for me was that because this was not my let's say, this was my free time job, let's say like this. In the process, a lot of times I became so tired that to think about music couldn't help me at all. So this was a chance for me to really break out of my mind, which was a process for me that has been going on for maybe 20 years, or even more. It was always a nice idea to get out of my mind. So I guess I never got out if I was thinking about it. But once I was, there were moments I was so tired, I couldn't think about anything, and then I realized things just keep running through my body, through me. I don't know how to say that otherwise. And not just in music, but also in my therapy work. There was no time to think anymore, and I learned to trust myself even more than ever before, that I can produce things. So actually what was my personal achievement through this album was that I really get out of my way. And I'm doing this also now with the mixing. I have a great backup from Art, so he's supporting me really well. I mean, it's good that he will allow me to lead the process, but he will be always behind me, and always, even if I go astray with some stuff, he will always come back, and of course you are of a big help, because sometimes I have my mind or focus more on something else, and when you jump with these focuses, like focus on kick drum, focus on this, focus on that, you focus, just like in out, in out, in out, in out. It's weird, but sometimes I lose. It's very hard for me then to totally focus out of anything and see the whole thing. So at that time it's very helpful when you come in and you know with fresh ears and just what's this, or yeah, this nice, but this, and then I can focus maybe on this stuff that I maybe forgot. So I think it's been I feel it's been a group project. I tease myself sometimes, maybe I channeled you a couple of times because or you channeled me, I don't know. I mean, it was amazing how we cooperated. It was no struggle at all. We had maybe a few different point of views on some details, but
it was kind of amazing.
Yeah.
No, it has been amazing, still is. But yeah, it's kind of, because we didn't know each other at all.
No.
10 months ago, we hadn't even worked together. And yet it just has gone so fast, and we've produced so much in such a short space of time.
Yeah, I don't know why or how, but I did listen to your album Golden World. I bought it in Vienna where we met.
That's right.
And I listened it only once. Sorry.
I don't mind.
It's nothing wrong with
I
it.
don't mind.
But the moment that we decided on making an album, I didn't want to be to draw out of that. It was enough as an information at that time for me, and I always saw another potential I felt it, and this is why I didn't want to go back to that. I wanted to build something new, and I knew you got it in you, and you do. And we've made it.
Yeah.
It's amazing, amazing. It's been really a pleasure working with you.
Yeah, no, it's been great.
Yeah.
And it's good because I think a lot of people will box you in an album that you've done, whereas actually I don't think most artists ever want that, you know, because I think most artists want to do something different every time anyway, to keep stretching yourself. So no, it's been great working with you, and we're actually in Davor's studio, which is where we recorded, well, he's recorded everything in here for 10 months, the live musicians, and then I came here and did all the vocals in this room. So are there any special key? I know you have, these are your babies, these keyboards. So are there any keyboard specialities you need to show us?
Yeah, maybe for music fans.
Yes, for music fans.
Except for bass guitars, which were live. I use Moog for all the synth basses, so this is actually probably one of the best synths for analog bass sounds, for synth sounds. Okay, these are just processors, doesn't matter. Here are some, more modern synthesizers also, Roland and Virus, Snow and Waldorf Blowfield and stuff, and then of course Nordlead and old Yamaha, the X7 rack and stuff like this. But these babies saved the day. This is the old, probably more than 30 years old, Oberheim OB8, which I used a lot for this bass, nasty bass pad sounds, stereotype. So when Moog is more of a mono, in the middle of your head type of bass, this one spreads it really badly down there. And then of course I have a lot of VST synthesizers in there. I used a lot also, and they're great. There's more here, and then I have, if you see those stands for other synths, I have a lot of analogs, but they're sadly right now in repair because these things do, just stop working from here and there. So we also used Jupiter 6 Roland, very famous synth. What did we use? Poly 6 Korg, some stuff, but mainly was this babies.
So I guess a final question for you would be, how, if someone wanted to know what this album is like, or what it sounds like, or what it's going to feel like, I know they've got to listen to it, but we're doing these interviews in advance, so it might not be, the album might not be available for anything between 3 to 5 months, depending on how things go. So how would you describe to somebody this album?
I must be honest, I wasn't even aware of what I was doing. I'm starting to be conscious now, in sense of let's say arrangements and production. I'm not talking about everything else. Now I see that all the songs kind of have a start point that is very easily to tune yourself to. This is how I see it. I'll just express how I see it. It's very easy to kind of step into that space of what the music in the beginning is offering, and then it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes into kind of opening. So I see it as a potential for energy opening. I wasn't aware of that. I just felt like doing this. It was weird for me because this is really not a standard pop structure to arrange songs, because you have a nice verse and then you go in chorus and everything is fine and so on, and then you maybe have an instrumental. But these songs kind of just build and build and build and have their biggest explosion just before the very end. And I see how, when I listen to it now, when we do the final mix, it grabs you, and then you go and you go and you go and you go, and then when there's nowhere else to go, it kind of explodes. So I think it will be a very transformational album. It will have a big impact on the energy field. Not invasive, but kind of as a invitation, if you want to invite yourself to join with the song. It will carry you to an opening. Each song has this different themes, different emotions, different, let's say, frequency, but they all have this. If you invite yourself to ride on it, you will open up a lot. And I did too. And it sounds maybe right now as I'm like some big producer who knows what he's doing. I'm not. I'm just realizing what we have done together. And I always knew I have it in me but till now I really did not have the opportunity to work on that scale. Also with such a singer as you are and songwriter and everything, this has really been nice material to work with, really.
Back
Thanks,
at
Lee,
you. Back
for- I
at
mean,
you. Thank you. I feel
we
the
really
same way.
went on trust. I mean,
Yeah, we did.
This was all done basically.
We did. It was hilariously done on trust, but
Yeah.
we were ready. No, it's great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Awesome. We look forward to
Yeah.
to letting people hear it.
Yeah. People, sorry, I'm really almost dead, so I don't know what I was talking about. I hope you will chop this out. Maybe some other time it will make more sense. But it's good, because I can control myself right now. So maybe some honest stuff came out.
Thank you, brother.
Okay, bye-bye.
Sound will hold you, will slow